All right, I want to share a dream with you. And it's not a recent dream. It's actually a dream that I had as a child, about 8 years old. And the dream itself is not important. What happened in the dream is also not important. It is the process of the dreams that's where the magic lies. Now, this wasn't just one dream, it was a set of recurring dreams, meaning it happened over and over again, but at my will. Meaning I controlled each and every one. So let me start with the first dream. Like I said, I was about 8 years old. Now in the dream I was in a park, and in the park I was doing regular kid stuff. I was just playing, running, jumping, blah blah blah. Now while I was doing this, out of nowhere I took off flying. No joke, flying. Now, when I say flying, I don't mean on some dun 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 Superman type of stuff. Not that kind of flying, but flying like I came off the ground. Okay, once I realized I was off the ground, I got stuck. So I'm 5, 10 feet up in the air, and I have no clue how I got up there, and no clue how to come back down. And so I got stuck in the middle of the air. And once I realized I was stuck, I panicked. When I panicked, boom, I came crashing down, straight into the concrete. Now, when I hit the concrete below, it hurt like hell, right? So I'm on the floor crying now, because I'm in pain. And all of a sudden, kids started coming to where I was at. Now, they didn't witness what happened. They don't know why I was on the floor. They don't know why I was crying. But anyway, they started gathering around me, and they started laughing at me, and they started making fun of me. And I'm on the floor crying, and I was so embarrassed. And I couldn't tell them what happened, right? I can't tell them, yo, I was just flying. I couldn't tell them nothing. So I just cried there and laid in embarrassment. And then I woke up. When I woke up, I realized, wow, that was a dream. But at that age, I understood something. I understood that I had the ability to re-enter dream world and master what I was doing. And that's exactly what I did. I told myself that the next time I go, because now I want to find out how I started flying, right? The only way to do that was not in the real world, in our human world. I had to slip back through this field and enter dream world. And that's what I did. So each dream, I was fully aware that I was dreaming, and I made myself go to the locations where I wanted. So I told myself, next time I enter dream world, I'm not going to go to a park where there's kids there. I'm going to find a secluded park where nobody's around, so I can practice this as long as I need to practice this to figure out the hows and the whys in what I was doing. And that's what I did. So every time I enter dream world, I practice. I practice how to figure out how I took off flying. Once I realized how I took off flying, I mastered that, right? I kept doing it over and over. Soon that 5 and 10 feet turned into going above trees and going to the length of buildings, right? But each dream there was a hurdle that I had to, challenges that I had to face. So I mastered the art of ascension, ascending to the sky. But then I had the challenge of coming back down. So I mastered the art of flying up, but I couldn't figure out how to come back down. So every time I tried to come back down to earth, I was crashing into bushes, trees, the side of buildings, right? So I had to keep re-entering dream world until I mastered everything: the art of flying, the art of ascending and staying up, and the art of descending and coming back down. And that's what I did. I mastered everything. And once I mastered everything, I built up the confidence to uh, do this in front of everybody. So I was no longer going to secluded parks. I would fly in front of everybody now, because I knew I had this ability. And yeah, so I would do it in front of everybody. And they gave me the nickname, the girl that could fly. So my nickname was the girl that could fly in these dreams. And once I mastered that, I left Dream World alone. I had no more use for it, but not realizing that at the time, as a child, I was doing something that was not normal. I had the self-mastery of lucid dreaming. Not too many people have that. Now, I didn't understand that as a child. I fully understood that I can make myself go back and forth to dreams whenever I want. I understood that as a child because I would make myself go back and forth whenever I wanted, however I wanted, and doing whatever I wanted to do, right? So I fully understood that as an 8-year-old little girl. But what I fully did not understand was the power in what I was doing. I assumed that every child was doing what I was doing, right? And they were at home mastering their skills, and I was just mastering mine. Not understanding, because I wasn't raised by parents or elders that understood this gift and wasn't able to nurture it. So I wouldn't tell nobody. I wasn't gonna tell anybody, yo, mom, I was flying in my dreams. I learned how to master it. She would tell me, oh, Despina, shut up. You know, like I was crazy. So it's some shit I just kept to myself. So anyway, I closed that veil for 25 years. It lay silent, right? And then boom, Olivia died. My 15-year-old daughter, Olivia, died. The only way I can communicate with Olivia now is through dreams, right? And remember, I don't know if you've been following me since Olivia's death, but I used to beg Olivia to come to me in my dreams, and I used to cry so much because I would tell her, I'm not a dreamer. I don't dream. Like, I haven't had a dream since a kid. Like, how am I going to speak to Olivia if I'm not even a dreamer? Right? So the only way I can talk to Olivia now was through dreams. And that is when the veil of forgetfulness opened back up for me. The 25 years silence, the gift that lay dormant in me for 25 years, reawakened through Olivia. It's making me see that so many of us, because we grew up in families who lacked understanding of this gift, we put that divine child in us to sleep. I had access to an inner school of self-mastery as a child. And I had forgotten about her. I'd forgotten about the little Despina in me that fell asleep, that I put to sleep 25 years ago because I had no use for it. Olivia is what unlocked that veil of forgetfulness in me. Now remember, I told you I shared a dream with y'all that I had with her a few years back where she did some crazy shit to me. She unlocked everything in me. And that was the day the soul awakened. My soul awakened. I woke up that day about 3 years ago, and I shared it in a dream. You can look back. That was the day of my awakening. I woke up. Whatever Olivia did to me in that dream opened my eyes to things that I had never thought about. I stopped believing in gods, and I stopped believing in heaven and hell. I stopped believing in angels and all of that. I seen what was on the other side through this child. A lot of us have these gifts that are in deep, deep slumber because of our upbringings, because our parents have pushed on their beliefs to us, because of religions. A lot of religious people will take what I'm saying now as me being demonic. And I'm not even lying, they really will. They'll tell you, oh, that's a demonic spirit talking to you. Oh, you're devil. You're worshiping the devil, sin. Blah, 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 blah. But it's true. And that is how you forget that divine child in you through ignorance of other people. We got dream walkers from every beliefs, from Japanese dream walkers and Indian dream walkers and Greek dream walkers. There's dream walkers and seers and every Egyptians and everywhere. Yeah, we have put that divine child in us to sleep. So what I am doing now is not some new age spirituality stuff. It is something that I was born with. Born, so I'm not practicing anything. I have reawakened it. Wake up, Despina. Come back. I don't know what it is. Maybe I have the gift of dreams. Necromancy, speaking to the dead, clairvoyancy. Remember that other dream I shared with y'all about the dead people that came to visit me in the hospital? I wake up, and these were actually dead people that I thought were alive. Ooh. Yeah. Anyway, the gods and goddesses are awakening. And not everybody can comply with us.